Now, the last one that I would want to share with you is on the developing learning opportunities that meet the diverse needs of learners. So remember that in our class, not only the teachers would have different skill set, even our students would be very diverse. So we expect that you might have a set of students, but their levels would be different. Their appreciation when it comes to using technology, the gadgets that they have, even the learning styles that they may possess would be different when they come to our class. And we know this very well when we were still dealing with our students face to face. Now, the more that it's going to be difficult when it is now online. So we need to take into consideration the way we design the learning opportunities to meet the diverse needs of our learners. When we try to define UDL, so UDL would mean an approach to curriculum design that can help teachers customize the curriculum so that we can serve all learners. So whether they have different abilities, they have a disability, they are developmentally challenged, they have different age group, gender, cultural, or linguistic background. So another way to that it is a set of blueprint. So blueprint because later on it will guide you in your design of the lesson by choosing the right strategy, material, assessment tools in order for you to do two things: to increase access and to reduce the barriers for all types of learners. And most of the time, the most vulnerable are the learners with disabilities because they have an additional challenges along the way as compared to maybe our students without disabilities. Learners with disabilities are the most vulnerable to such barriers. But many students without disabilities also find that our curricula are poorly designed to meet their learning needs. So, for example, if I have, let's say, a poor internet connection, then the teacher might probably need to prepare a material that I could watch offline. But there is another set of material that the teacher could deliver live. So some teachers would find the application of the UDL time consuming or maybe costly. The UDL framework is grounded in three principles. First is the multiple means of engagement, which means we tap the interest of our students by offering them choices of content and tools, or motivating them by offering adjustable levels of challenges. So some LMS, in fact, would have this would be able to offer this to students right now, no, with the gamification or with the learning paths feature. Second is the multiple means of representation, which means that we use a variety of methods to present information, providing a range of means to support. For example, if my lesson would be in PDF, then I have maybe a video version of that, maybe a live lecture on that at the same time. So third is the multiple means of action and expression. It means providing learners with alternative ways to act skillfully and then demonstrate what they know. We can probably see this from the levels of our assessment on how they can actually demonstrate what they have learned. So grounded in research of learner differences and effective instructional settings, so UDL principles call for ways to present or access information, concepts, and ideas. So that's why we call this the what of learning. The why of learning, on the other hand, looks into how they get engaged, how they are stay motivated. So that's why in the why of learning, it's important to provide relevancy of our lessons in their day-to-day lives. And on the third, the how of learning, how to plan and execute learning tasks. So how can instructors incorporate UDL? So there are many suggestions, but these are just few of them. So one is that we can use multiple strategies to present our content. So it could be through the use of case studies, could be through music, through role playing, cooperative learning, hands-on activities, field trips, your guest speakers being invited into your synchronous session, web-based communication, educational software. For example, students can role play different important events in Philippine history to give them better understanding of the events and then the people involved. Also, you can offer learning context by providing opportunities for individual. You can also offer pair, group work, as well as distance learning, peer learning, and field work. You can also use a variety of materials, just like what I've mentioned, in order for you to present content. It could be illustrated and reinforced in different varieties. So it could be by means of online resources, could also mean by videos, could be by podcasts, PowerPoint, even live videos showing of live specimens in online class, for example, manipulatives, and even ebooks. We can also provide cognitive support. One way to provide them some organization, let's say giving a summary at the end of the lesson, giving them, let's say, a summary via infographics. So this time you can present the background information for new concepts using pictures, artifacts, videos that are not lecture based. And then you can also scaffold learning by providing study guides, copies of presentation materials that would allow them to be supported when it comes to studying the material in a variety of formats. So because you have diverse set of learners, so UDL would of course encourage teachers to teach in a variety of learning styles in order for us to address the different ways of students learning. You can build movement into learning. You can give instructions both orally, in writing, especially to engage students auditorily and visually. You can also consider large visual aids for graphics, charts. And the last here is to provide flexible opportunities for assessment. So not only that, the assessment must be the traditional means. So what is that you allow them to demonstrate their learning in multiple ways as well. Just some of the ways by which we can apply UDL, but it takes into consideration a lot of teacher preparation in order for you to have different versions of your materials in order for you to address different learning needs.